Okay. Let's start figuring out what we're going to do and what colors we're going to use tonight. Someone has been on my desk that's not supposed to be. Let's shift it around and it drives me up freaking walls. Alright, let's move this over. Let's move this over. We're going to put the witches to the side for the time being because we're not going to work on them. Those can go that way. Alright, so what do we want to work on? Why are we going to work on that tonight? Is because it's a little bit easier and relaxed to deal with, and it's been a day. So we're gonna just have a nice easy day a little bit with some of the things that we're working on. So I have these Wild Wild West type miniatures from Reaper Bones that we're gonna work on. These are gonna be the goals of what we're gonna work on today. A little bit, because there's a lot of fun things that can be worked on with them. Excuse me, I do want to have that fixed. Nailed it. I got it to work. Yay me. Okay, so we're going to work on something steampunk, and that's going to require the colors brown and yellows and greens and teals and things like that. Colors that I don't normally always use, so it's going to be a lot of fun to paint with those. So I have choices that I can make. I can either start with Chimera colors, or I could stick to the droppers of Reaper. And I'm pondering what I'm wanting to do as I look around and think about each of these miniatures. So the Steampunk Witch is interesting because she uses a lot of browns and could use teals and stuff like that. I believe this is Dixie, could use a lot of browns as well because of the corset, but then she has thigh highs on that could be white and green, which would be an interesting color choice, along with a green top, possibly, and brown boots. And then we have the Alchemist here, which we could do in a teal and green color as well. I'm kind of pondering if I want to do teal, the green, and the auburn now. Question is, how do you get to the auburn? And how do we get the interesting red color started for their hairs? And use pretty teal. So I know sea blue and blue black give me these kinds of things, which I don't want, with some cobalt green. The cobalt blue green, I'm probably going to need to have out. I am probably going to reach for our friend Tinburius teal, which is a beautiful teal color. Beautiful, absolutely beautiful. So that will give us those two colors. I don't know if I need samurai green. I'm gonna put samurai back. I don't like that. Fallen grass, silver gray, blue black. Rhyme is a green that I don't need to use right now. I could use it, but I'm kind of pondering what I want to do. I have a lot of choices, many choices, all the choices. So when you have all the choices, you have to narrow down the number. Because within the Reaper MSP line, I could use Platypus Teal and Spectral Glow to help get the colors that I'm thinking about in my head out, and I can use the well palette and not the wet palette, which is, it has its ups and its downs. So it's not really a here nor there bad decision, it's just decisions. So that is kind of where I'm at. This has been plaguing me for like the last. So I do want to grab my color wheel really quick as I slap the mic around really fast. I can't touch things without breaking everything under the sun. So I'm just planning out what's going to be teal and what's going to be green. The box art for her uses a lot of reds and blues. So I'm thinking about making her skirt a similar teal and using a red-orange on her corset to match up with kind of the box art, which I think would look fun. And then Dixie, I could do with that teal as well and the white. I think that's what I'm going to try. I think that's what we're going to go with. I don't think I'm going to use platypus teal. No. Many choices. So many choices, so many choices, so many choices. Because I'm thinking to not use it this way. I kind of like the idea of using platypus teal, because it is a nice teal. It's a very nice teal. You done chilling? Someone likes it when I have the window open. The question is, how do I darken up a platypus teal to be an interesting color? I think the answer is going to be using dragon or shadow green on the palette once I'm ready. I think I'm going to use Hellborn Red as my base coat for anything I want red. And my white, my off-white, my hair color is going to start with the mahogany to get that auburn started. Moved. How dare it. There it is. I'm going to use my traditional skull and crossbones. I don't know why I like that off-white. Alrighty. So. Hello, goodbye. Blue, platypus. These two I'm going to keep out because I don't know which one I'm going to use. And okay. Palette is in a little bit. Oop, there we go. All right. I do have the cat cam up and running. People can see the monster that I have. So while I was mixing up the paint, I forgot that Vince created this dark yellow green, which could help, which is not going to be too different from the shadow green. I just kind of want to have options on the palette. You're okay, sweetie. You're okay. I promise you are. Hey, okay. Oh, you're fine. You're okay. You're alright. I know, I got the smoker up and running, and I made chili that we'll get to have one bowl from. You're alright. Why don't we focus on the one thing at a time? The mouse. I want my platypus teal. I want the straight dragon green just as well. Just in case. I think it's an interesting color. No, no, no. Down, 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 down. Down. I need to be down. Okay. This distraction has been brought to you by a cat. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 4, 5, 2, 2. Bit of water in there. There. You are being able to be goofball. Pixie Lou. A little bit of shadow green. Dark yellow. I don't know if I like that. I don't know if I like that at all. Shadow green. I like. Too much of a muted color. I don't like that. I don't like that at all. Mahogany. Nice and clean it up. Get our dragon green. I don't know why I put two of them up. That I think is I was thinking happening. I like that a little bit more. Yeah. Basket burger. Okay, so really hard to see anything on her right now. And we've reached the part of the stream where I figure out how to use a zoom button. There we go. So she is going to be a lot of teal out of it currently. She was primed in all black because that's a habit I have of mine. We can start base coating in. Covering up the black. Get another head restraint device. Okay, there we go. New hair restraint device. It will not randomly poke my light and knock it out of position all the time. We hope anyway. As clumsy as I can. That'll work. Lines at a time. There's a dress ruffle that I'll have to go back and get with a weight at some point. But that point is not this evening. Okay. That point will not. You're okay. I promise you're all safe and sound. What? What happened today? What made it such an interesting day for you? Do you care to tell me, my love? Is it because I started the smoker earlier and I started painting stuff a little bit later? No, we're not. Okay. You go that way and you can stare out the window all night long. I will gladly let you do that. As a matter of fact, I encourage you. Much obliged, little child. Much obliged. What's up, sweetie? You're okay. You're A-okay. Yay. Elfin toys for the cat for the win. You're okay. I know you do not care. Are you trying to tell me that it's time to go stir chili that's on the smoker right now? I'm going to have to decline to wait a few minutes. Thank you very much, little miss. As you start to go around the model, you can start to see all of the different colors that weren't popping up, or at least the texture pieces that weren't coming together the same way. It's just really good to start getting that base coat on. Yes, she has a beautiful bed she could sit on that would be 1,000 times more comfortable. What does she choose to do? She chooses to use the windowsill. How to work? They don't. Goofball. Okay. Okie dokie, artichoke. So I'm gonna bring over the witch for a couple of minutes. I'm gonna do the same thing, but I'm going to start with her skirt. That's going to be teal. I apologize for the cat twitch going on in the background, but that's the only thing that slightly piques her interest, so it is going to have to live that way. Oh, I do see that. That's a corset. That's not a full body vest. Oh, me. Okay. So she's going to have a lot more complexity and skin tone than I thought originally, so we'll need to work on that eventually more. It's not right now. Sorry, I was looking back at the reference photo. I could understand what I was looking at just a little bit sometimes. It's complicated. Good evening, Kittler. How are you? You will be nice and welcome to know that potentially after Christmas, the Discord server will be up and running. How are you doing? It'll be after the Discord server's on the right name. It will be after the name change though. I think. Yeah, I think it's after the name. Twitch is every 60 days for name change. So it should be right around Christmas time or right after Christmas time when I get back from doing the family thing. That I'll be able to keep everything consistent and together. I did manage to get a bot in there that tells you when I go live. And it will tell you when I make a YouTube video too. Hopefully. Knock on wood. So the Discord server is up. I just don't have the rules set up and need to finish getting the moderation aspects of it squared away, taken care of. I'm gonna let that dry for a little bit, and I'm gonna switch over to Dixie. Yeah, exactly. They don't time you out for posting 3 emotes. I followed one guide from Juster on YouTube. Pointed me to a mod or a bot that did notifications, and it was kind of like a one-stop shop, so I could only have that one mod or that one bot act as an auto moderator. So when when I'm at work and stuff, in case something goes awry, there's something there to provide some amount of protection, because you never know. You always got to be careful these days. Or when I'm in the office and unable to watch the server, or I'm in like a long call and I can't, whatever is being dealt with right now, I'll have something in place to hopefully prevent something to go horribly awry. I hope. But you know how the plans of mice and men often run. Step. Yeah. I am trying to go around and get all of my greens addressed right now, because I have to work on multiple thin coats, because that's how we work with our water-based acrylic paints. Could I do this a lot faster with oil paints? Yes. Do I really want to do that and get that painter's high? No. No. No, I don't. Don't want. Don't want. Yeah. I just thought I'd give you an update and let you know that it does exist, and it is being worked on in the background. Got the name set up a while ago. Started looking up the YouTube channel recommended how to set up the community server. Right now I need to get rules in place, get the welcome page, kind of the welcome landing place put in, along with the requirements that people, have like verified emails for joining the Discord server and what have you. Okay. And then right around all the time that stuff gets squared away, we'll have the TikTok ban, and I don't know what to do. Christmas. See what it would take to start streaming on TikTok. However, I cannot, because the ban goes into effect essentially. With that in mind, I can't really utilize that tool. Excuse me. Will there be a workaround? Just not. One second. That was a clever way for that bot to get around it. Yeah. Are you all ready for the festive of families? Ow. foot. I did something, it doesn't bend that way when I rested on my other foot. That's not a sign. Also, the music isn't too loud, right? It is there and present in the background. I believe it is, because Twitch muted one of the VODs that I need to edit on YouTube and put back public playlist for a horizontal stream. Or really take the time to set up the, I think I may do that, set up multi-stream to use Twitch is the main platform still, and have a horizontal and vertical format stream the YouTube sides. Thank you. Okay. I need a few minutes to go stir some chili on the smoker. I will be right back. And get more water. You know what, I'm gonna take a few moments and sit down for a little bit. Give me a second. It would help if I unmuted myself and I could have narrated that entire exchange between the back of my chair, the cat. Let's calm down. I promise you're okay. I went outside for truly 2 minutes to stir the chili that's on the smoke. We are not playing with these right now. I know you seem to think that everything that dangles should be a cactus. That is correct. You're okay. He has a brown corset. Stuff. Once a week, realistically. The last couple of weeks have been a little wonky. Hello, social alien. Welcome in. Welcome to where I talk to a random cat to try to see if I can bargain with her to not drag her claws into my back. Sometimes I am successful, and sometimes I am not. We also talk about things like food and smokers as well. The last couple of weeks have been a little wonky, simply because of holiday lunches, holiday stuff in general. I used it quite a bit over Thanksgiving when I made my smoked turkey. I used it, I try to use it at least once a weekend to prepare something to cook that, yes. Yes, smokers for cooking. I like using the smoker. There's a guy on Instagram that I follow that's Mandatory Fun Day that does very humor. Talking about British cooking. I don't know. There's a lot to be said. Sometimes there's a lot to be desired, but the smoker for cooking is, I make like a brisket every so often, or I'll make 1 or 2 briskets a year for myself, and I freeze up a good chunk of it because I feed one person, not 100 people. And throughout the year, when I want to make chilies or use it for like enchiladas or tacos, I will pull that portion out of the freezer. And I guess now, since it's the second year doing it, meat market that I attend or go to frequently, I try to use up a lot of the brisket that I had from last year. Yeah, I have 2 6-quart Dutch ovens sitting on the smoker right now. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to use it. I'm going to give it to them as a thank you for the services that they provide, and let them know that they're appreciated for all of their hard work and personal natures. Considering I walked in there one day, said, give me 3 plates of beef ribs and a smoker. Somehow they tend to know you just a smidge after that. But in terms of small world, one of the guys that works behind the counter, his uncle is actually my neighbor across the street. Kind of a fun little world. The beef ribs that I did smoked for 8 hours, or about 10 hours, and you could slide the bone out completely. Yes, it can definitely change the taste. What are you doing, nerd? Right now I'm using a mixture of hickory and oak. I don't really care about so much the type of wood. It needs for what I'm cooking right now. I want it to be a hardwood, heavy wood, not so much a soft wood like cherry or apple. Those types of woods tend to be fruity and work really well with pork. Can I help you? Okay, thank you. Also, did you follow me, Alien? Sorry, I don't know if this thing works all the time. I just want to make sure that in case it did, the alerts go off like they're supposed to. Oh, you do as you wish. I am literally here to make a complete and utter ass out of myself. I'll be honest about it. But welcome in. I realize I should have probably ran through this. I paint primarily Reaper miniatures. I do fantasy and heroic scale type stuff. I use a variety of paints such as Pro Acryl, Reaper MSP, or Chimera. Currently I'm working on the steampunk trio that I picked up from Reaper Miniatures because I bought something really expensive. I forget what. Usually their website, they'll run one free miniature, or they'll do like free miniatures every month if you spend a certain amount of money. I spent enough to get a bunch of the steampunk ones. So I did. I prepared them and had them under. I paint up small little things like these little mouselings. Got painted up. As Kittler will tell you, we are going to start a story at some point for the Great Cheese Cascade, and I am working on learning some non-metallic metal and painting a 2 bust currently at the time with using Chimera paints and following kind of a guide. So I will paint random things as the day comes. What I'm going to paint may not ever make sense to you. And I will do board game size miniatures as well. This is from Batman the Animated Series, Shadow of the Bat game that IDW did. Or, we have the owlbear named Fred that I worked on. I need to find his mate that I painted up months ago. So on the palette, I have platypus teal with a mixture of dragon green. I'm not using any of these 4 colors. I don't. And this is Pro Acryl mahogany down here, in case you were curious. These are steampunk fantasy western type miniatures. Specifically, if you look up the box art for steampunk, not Dixie, it's not Dita, it's Sarah, I think. Son of a biscuit. Okay. I don't know why Sarah's not coming to my search. She does, just don't use the H. It can be a very sensitive thing. So the primary colors that are used on these 2 miniatures specifically are green I don't like, I don't really feel like doing green because I'm going to do a lot of green when I paint up these Shadow of the Bat miniatures from IDW. Because in the art style of the animated series of Batman, I believe she should be blonde with a green skirt or a green top and then a beige, if I'm not mistaken, pencil skirt, and then it will be a bronze skin with black heels, if I remember correctly, and then the undershirt should be some kind of yellow or white. And Kittler is a lot of fun to be around as well. They tend to bring humor. And as a forewarning, I have a very aggressive auto moderation setup because I do not have moderators yet. So, be forewarned. I think I'm the only one allowed to put. But yes, so I have chili on the smoker right now that's going to go overnight for the meat market. I'll let those. It should be one really big pan or kind of decent sized trays of Texan brisket chili, which will be just tomato, brisket, ground venison, chili seasoning, chipotle and adobo, and I hit a jalapeno in there as well. Because the jalapeno is going to bring the spice. I'm kidding. But I'm working around the miniatures currently, trying to get a nice even base coat for my teal colors. Or at least the base colors of teal. So I can know which way I need to put the miniature or remove the shadows, highlight, and figure out what I'm going to do from there. I will be on vacation starting Monday of next week. I may not stream on Sunday. I'm not sure yet. I drive out Sunday or Saturday or Monday morning. Go home for the holiday. Back in a week, and I will resume streaming again. I will be off for a week, and I will work on getting some things set up for people wish to join and share photos of their pets, or find the funny dank memes. There was a funny one that popped up that Kittler made relevant to all healthcare. Neither one of them are here. Neither one of them are here. I haven't spoken to KDJ in God, I don't know how long. Oh. I had a train of thought about something. When I start. I will do that quite a bit. Train of thought. One of the more enjoyable parts of, that's what it was. For you, Hitler. There's a joke. Whoever does the Brian skits on YouTube, on Instagram, Reels, and Twitch or TikTok, usually like a joking about how bad company and corporate lifestyles are. The manager asked to see one of their calendars, and they had framed it in the words of the Grinch when he's talking to himself about how he can't do anything. At one point, they had wrote in, solve the Luigi Mangiano murders. or prove that he's innocent, one of the deals. I thought that was funny. And someone's like, well, why are you doing that? They're like, have you seen a photo of this guy? So it was 4:15 jazzercise. 5 o'clock dinner. I cannot cancel that again on myself. It's way too important. I'll have to be honest with you. Sitting in painting is a lot easier than standing in painting because when I stand in paint, I tend to go out of frame way too frequently. Also, Nightbot is not doing its thing it's supposed to and spamming my socials. There we go. I have to actively click off the command window that I'm on when I go and change it in Nightbot, apparently. Today I learned. I think she is going to look beautiful in this color right. Brush really quick because I'm curious to see how this works. Mahogany for her. I want them to be brunettes and auburny brunettes, kind of a reddish brown. I think that will bring out the interesting color. Miniature. Different brush. What I need. I don't know. For our phone. Oh, and at some point I'll need to finish this guy. I forgot about little cutie patootie. I think I was struggling with what color I wanted to make his eyes. I think I want to make his eyes a reddish orange. So. There we go. That looks good. Since she has decided to leave, turn off the camera. Much easier to paint. Honestly. So you do. makes it hard to paint. Just a smidge. You can start to see some of the differences. Just a little bit of that base coat makes in terms of the black. Maybe a lot of person. Her hair. A lot of hair. Big hair. This is almost 80s hair right here. Pretty sure if I look at the sculpture, tries to. Someone that was told to do big hair for the model. Itchy face. Where to try? I have this paint. I'm not worried about it clogging. Pro Acryl and Reaper MSP tend to be very nice in terms of coverage. Self-level a lot better. Chimera does, so I'm not overly being too thick with 27 seeds. Paint over to bigger brush, a size 3 from Monument Pro Acryl. Reminds me, I'm gonna need to put all of my out of town for sure that boy. Okay, I think the auburn or the brunette reddy brown side work nice for their hair. I'm going to continue down that train of thought. Smarter man on bigger brush. Ooh. My brain said to use that blue. It's smarter. Spoiler alert, so it was not smarter. I'm also dealing with this playlist all that well right now. When in doubt, let us do Studio Ghibli. That makes trying to make sure the base fits nice. I can always futz and bring it back up and down as I want later on. It's just, since I'm here, might as well. Then we're gonna get Dixie, the sheriff of this motley crew. The thing is we will be doing some and working on painting a line, and we're gonna stripe the socks he currently has on all the way up. We're gonna be green and white mix. So the teal, or the teal that I'm using, utilize, because white is notorious for cover and one fail swoop. That's why primer's typically white when we paint walls in our house. As I should have done. God. It'll be fine. Don't worry about it, he said. Should have been smarter. Primer and paint. So, oh. Oh, I will use a little bit of scale 75 from time to time as well. User switch back. Or I was switching to check something and I forgot that it doesn't exist on this platform. Okay. He's going to go to the side for a moment. Select Dita. Our I typically work on 2 or 3 things at 1 or 2 times, simply because I will forget to not let things dry, or I'll start painting quickly, really tearing the paint off of where I just painted. So sometimes you'll hear me say, "Hey, dumbass," referring to me myself, let that dry. I do have a My Little Pony, or My Little First desk that I don't. Because I've often found that working on 1 or 2 miniatures that share the same colors really does help create different ways or find from what's it? Eon's Battle that pointed out that he really liked utilizing palette sometimes, especially when he's painting like his units or his squads. So he would try to find because it was much easier for him, nicer to create that uniform of how the every miniature is unique but yet still a part of the muscling. Great cheese spade. I'll have those blue float, a greeny dark non-metallic miniature or metallic swords and metal bits, and their others are all kind of similar in terms of color. It's definitely been a wild ride. And while these steampunk ladies could be all technically separate, I kind of like the idea of creating separately unique ideas, but still reusing the same types of words. Again, plus it gives me time to play with the color wheel and really adjust what I want to adjust. to see how it works. So Dita here on the Reaper Miniature website uses kind of like a creamy white shirt, a blue skirt, and a dark red corset and gloves and leather kind of bits, which it looks good for the boxer that is there. But I don't really like that. I don't like that in the Wild Wild West. In the Wild West, I go and look at movies. A lot of the old movies, they tend to be very women tend to be very brightly colored, that have some kind of medium stature or statue. So I feel like these ladies would be fun in their colors and using different colors. They wouldn't be in your traditional blue all the time. It would be kind of in this exorbitant, catch your attention kind of colors. Mahogany. Also, I was thinking about it while painting stupidly. I am literally holding as a broom. There's a Kickstarter point. Tales of Chima, which is Studio Ghibli inspired D&D information. I can already tell his hair is going freaking insane when I paint it up, because someone had sculpted in all of the knots for her hair. Poor Cabo. If I had been a smarter man, I would have colored Ryan. But black is such a primer, and I feel like I did do gray for a while. Changed me enough to be like, I should do this all in gray and it will make my life easier. Alright, I feel like that's nice and evenly coated now. Kind of represent that on the camera. That's one of the benefits of painting it in black tone, is that sometimes you can just argue that it's a little bit of a shadow. You can say it's a shadow. It's fine. That's Bob Ross. There's no accents, just happy little shadows. Back to Dixie because I've looked over at her. You can really see how much of her hair has stood out just from that base coat. Her ruffles are going to be a white, an off-white. Oh my lord. I didn't expect it was. Just a little bit of teal kind of helps bring out some of the full her dress. It's gonna look smoking when but I need to put it to the side. We must finish the model that is before us. So what's weird is on the box art for her on the Reaper website. I say box art, really website. They show this hand here having a glove on it, and it's white. I like that. The skin, beautiful armbands for her. Kind of up there at the top. I'm not. So the skin tone was using colors. I was using pink skin, or salmon skin, Caucasian, and Chinese skin. I think I'm going to change it up a little bit and utilize some either utilize some Arabic shadow from scale 75 or utilize some Indian shadow from scale 75, which is kind of like a reddy pink color. Give that sun touched look. Be careful. Look, sweetie. I will let you be up there. Stay in that corner. Move. I will. Nah, no. Nope. Nope. My helper has returned. She wants to go back to that. So, we shall return having a cat cam. Will she stare out the window? Or will she try to claw me? The world will never know. We shall have cat calculations. Will I use the bed? There we go. There we go. She learned as a bed. Okay, but the curtain is still an enemy, so FYI. Watch her in real time pull that entire thing off the wall. Hear me yelp and scream, or it's going to be up there sturdily wrong. We shall see. Here she has lost interest once again. It is very important to remember to stretch. Yes, Mr. Veta. Task will be operational and it will raise itself as needed. So I kind of like the way her base coat is done. Dita the Witch, her base coat, I like how that's kind of played out right there. Excuse me. And then Sarah, our steampunk alchemist. I kind of like how her base coat is looking. I just want a little bit more mahogany for her hair, because whoever sculpted her decided she must have all of the volumes of hair. All of the volumes. Now the question becomes, what is my other brown? So I'm pondering what I go up with in terms of color. So when working with the mahogany, that's kind of close to like Wyvern leather from Reaper MSP. If I cared to get my phone out and open up the Paint Rack app, look for a color match to mahogany from Pro Acryl, it might be in that range. The question becomes is how do I lighten up this color to get to an auburn shadow or kind of like an auburny red, a reddish brown. And I'm thinking I'm going to have to use something like oiled leather or something with some orange in it quite a bit to get to the color that I want to. Now for other leather bits like the gauntlet or waist cinch fur and boots for all of these ladies, I think I want to be consistent in all of them. I could use something like oiled leather or harvest brown and go that way, but I'm not quite sure. And then for whatever reason, I really like graham cracker as a mixing color. I'm just curious how this looks. Take some of my mahogany and drop it in there. Some of this graham cracker. You can kind of see the nice muted brown that I start. If I take that brown, brush with a nice point to it. Ferret faucet. I might be using graham cracker for MSP to lighten up the color. I think that's going to work nice for her hair. That nice. Shiny, reflective. brunettes often. Or I feel like I have some. At least with. I think that's going well. Next month. Okay. This is a proof of concept for myself. I think that's going to look nice. Highlighting up everything. Together. I think that's exactly what you should do, and it's a fun enough color to be something separate. I believe that is where I'm going to call it for tonight. I am starting to get exhausted. Long day at work. And then a longer day preparing to cook chili, and I still have to go clean up all of those dishes. So many dishes. Wow, let's not knock everything over on my desk. Yep. Let's stop being a cat for 5 seconds. I thank you all for coming in. I thank you all for hanging out. I thank you all for being here. I will probably return 6:30 tomorrow at my normal time, and I will start streaming once again. I don't know what I'm going to work on, since my wet palette is out, and I should probably use it before I let it all dry out and get nasty. I might return back to him for a little bit and continue to work on the non-metallic metal aspects of his tail, the chain. I have this entire back piece to do, which I feel like I could knock out a lot faster now that I've kind of gotten into the groove of what I've done for it. So, and alternatively, I could just finish up the face really quick with what we had done and potentially glue on his horns. He can be a horny guy, and I can finish fixing all of those and get the non-metallic together in one piece and just kind of have a couple of hours where I do nothing but futz. So I have choices. I will probably ramble through what I do that day. Don't commit to one thing. So we shall see. I thank you all for tuning in. Have a great night and be safe through these holidays.